Today I'm going to talk about how to crack Meta Product Sense interview. So basically, Product Sense interview is part of data analytics or data engineers. So there is a on-site interview. So let's talk about this one, right? When first I got called from Meta Product Analyst interview, my the reaction was pure panic. I was worried how it will go and how I will perform, right? So now you know that this is common excitement. So how it really works? So I have been working a decade in data and AI part of while, and previously I have given the interview for Meta, but I failed in these interviews. But this time I made some different strategy which helped me to pass this interview, right? So let's talk about this one. Everyone online said I check in Reddit, I check many lead code I check in ChatGPT, I check on internet, but everyone is saying learn about SQL, practice A/B testings, and lead code. So, but what I found after the interview, after the 3 intensive weeks study and many readings and after mock interview, so they want product thinker who speak data fluency, who speak data language, right? So let's talk about 10 highlighted points, right? So I'm going to have a 10 points, which is talking to about this one. Most of people go into interview thinking you will just write a SQL, right? So meta interview care about how you think, right? So they want you to know, do you understand why data important for this business? Can you translate product goals into measurable metrics? Can you design data model that scale and tell the story? They are not testing whether you are the count, you can count events, uh, etc. Right? They are testing whether you can turn those count into insight, impact to the meta. So this is the first thing. Now let's talk about the next part. What meta is actually testing for you, right? So after a few rounds, I start practicing and noticing, right? Every question based on the three dimension. So product sense, can you identify what actually important or matters to use and business design? Data design, can you design data model or structure data and answer the key question? And the next one is communication, can you explain your logic clearly in non-data data peoples? That's it, right? So this is very important. No tricks, it's just thinking clarity is thinking clearly, talking clearly, designing clearly. So everything is 3C, right? Everything they want clear. And now next part, I'm talking of framework that solve me the fundamental metrics, right? So every product, e-commerce, social media, or whether it's SaaS product, not down. Mm, they're below the down the five questions, right? The measurable people showing up. Are the people showing up? The metrics, core metrics measure user adoption and research, right? For in the e-commerce. So core metrics, daily active user, monthly active user ratio, daily active user, monthly active users, what you tell, the stickiness, the product, how often your users are returning within the month. Example, tracking the number of active user in Facebook daily versus monthly. Are they doing what they want? Measurable core conversion rate, the percentage of user who complete a desired action, showing your product experience and effectiveness. Example, the rate of which user move from add to cart to purchase in the e-commerce site. Are they sticking around? Retention rate, churn rate, the whether the product delivered ongoing value, causing the user back time, measuring the percentage of weekly returning user to the mobile apps. Okay, number four, are we making money, right? So revenue, LTV, lifetime value, the customer acquisition cost, what you tell the financial sustainability and profitability in your product. For example, right, if I talk calculating average revenue per user, right, from the advertisement. So number fifth is, are they happy? So to measure the happy, we have NPS, Net Promoter Score, and CAST, Customer Satisfaction Score. So Net Promoter Score, CAST, these are two metrics. What you tell the how you user feel about your product, which leading indicator. Example, sending out customer satisfaction survey after support. So this is the things. Now let's my answer will become a faster, deeper, and cleaner, right? Now let's talk about how I approach data modeling questions, right? So when the interview say design a data model for new short video featured like Instagram Reel, right? So just pause and think about this one, right? I don't jump the straight into the table. What is the business goal? So designing the short video, what is the goal of, right? Whether you get engagement, whether you get retention, whether you want to monetization. Who is using data? PM, growth analyst, or engineers? Will the decision will take make with it? Then I work the backward, right? The on a top to bottom approach or bottom to top. You would want to know the video from as well. I would track the impression. So they want video performance or impression, views, completion, likes, complaints. Okay, sorry, not complaints type. And the replace, these are tracking, right? So I will create user table, right? User table. And then I create video table, video table. Then a flexible event, like what kind of event they use. So three table and then event type also. The structure lets the calculate engagement, retention easily, and it would be effective. This is so insight, clarity, and scalability, and metas love it. Now, let's talk about what actually matters in your model, right? So, as I said, does your model answer the key questions? Scalability, can you handle billions of row or event? Flexibility, can you adapt when the features easily? Clarity, can someone else use it? Dimension data governance on safe versioning, add extra credit to show the experience and system level thinking, right? That also you can add, but so the biggest mistake the people whack jumping the sequel directly. I think we need to start with why and what and how, right? These are important. Why, what, how. The next part is designing the perfect schema. I over the normalize everything. Then the interview asks what you add the reaction, and my model broke. Lesson data model evolves, built for change. Forget the people use your data. It's not about elegant join. It's about enabling other make the confident decision. Now, actually into playbook. So there is a play every time they ask the question, you follow this one script, right? Let me restate the goal, key metrics you care about, the measure they would like to structure data. This is let me calculate X. If your product evolves, so these are things, right? Now, this is the short example. Design a data model, so increase engagement and retention. This is goal. Impression, views, completion rate, DAU, user involved video event and session. This is event type, timestamp, user ID, video ID. Partition is event date, flexibility, event type, support new transaction like add to cart and later. Why it work? I was just not building table. I designing the business insight. The preparation mock. So what you do practice mock interview, real product exploration books. So storytelling with data, this is very nice book, so you guys read not only for meta, it will measure the metrics, matters, right? Measure the matters, thinking in the bets by any. So these are three books. It's very very important. Key metrics by domain wise, I'm not going through here. You can read after the my articles. It's so senior level, some of the interview question which I prepared, right? The how would you balance accuracy versus performance of large scale data? So I separate analytics versus transaction pipeline. For analytics, I favor demonstrate denormalized structure, in fact, table and pre-aggregated matrix. For critical metrics, I use validation check. Injection if latency is less than 15 is not critical, but ensure consistency. How do you handle schema evaluation, schema registry, or metadata tracking like iceberg and delta? Add versioning, event schema, and something like that. How would you calculate retention efficiency? Pre-compute correct aggregation user IDs, sign update, score like materialized view. How would you decide between event-based and snapshot-based coding? Event high granularity, snapshot statistics. Yeah, describe how you would you like multi-touch attribution at performance, impression, click, conversion rates, store user journey with a timestamp and session, so on. There is many things you can watch, right? Now let's talk about how do you ensure the data trust and metric consistency across the team. Define the metrics dictionary, source of truth, store metrics SQL logic, YML config, set the repo like deputy metrics, enforce governance via code, dashboards, and build the metrics. How would you model A/B testing? Create experimental assignment table, and join with the event table, BigQuery. What is your approach to anomaly detection product metrics? Use statistical, Z score or something like that, right? If you know, and seasonality decommission, combine the automated alerts, slacks within manual validation. How would you measure the success newly launched features? Right? How so define the leading and lagging metrics before the launch. For example, new video feature leading metrics completion rate, lagging metric retention uplift after 30 days. Compare coherent and without features. How would you measure the junior analytics? I teach them why, what, and how framework. Why business goal? How metric? What metrics? Data model? Why, what, how? Why, what, how? Right? So final goal, it's not about building the perfect schema, it's building the clarity. If you can understand the business, define the right matrix, design a scalable, flexible data model, communicate with clarity. And these are the reference I use for my article, and you can also read. And please follow me on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Medium. Uh, thank you for liking and subscribing.